Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thundertron podcast. So today I'm going to be discussing and giving you my thoughts on the recently revealed Threezero Transformers The Last Night DLX Nemesis Prime. And towards the end of this segment, I will be discussing some very exciting news and information on the HasLab Omega Prime. So make sure you watch till the end to find out about that. And with all of that out of the way, let's now get into it. Now getting into my thoughts and all the information that we have on this figure, the figure is priced at $240, not including tax and shipping. The release date is January 15th, 2025, which yes, that's a very far away release date, almost a year, which is crazy, but do keep in mind before recording this audio or video, I did take a look at a lot of other action figure retailer sites that have this item available for pre-order or purchase, and most of those sites have a release date of October or the third quarter of 2024. So I think Hasbro most likely chose a very far away release date because they didn't want to choose an early release date for this very expensive, highly sought after item and then it get delayed and then disappoint the fans and collectors who wanted it. So if they choose a very far away release date and then it comes early, all of them will be really happy with the company. So I think there's a very high possibility, because this is just a minor retool repaint of a previous Threezero, not a brand new mold, we could probably see this in our hands in November or December of this year. That's just what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. We'll really just have to wait and see how this figure plays out. This also does somewhat work like a HasLab, where you do have a specific time frame of when you can purchase or pre-order this item. So for a typical HasLab such as Omega Prime, the one that's going on right now, you have 45 days, now 34 as of the time I'm recording this audio. I'm not sure if it's 45 days for this item as well. It could be more or less. You really have to kind of do the math of how many days you have. But you do have until April 4th, 2024 to purchase or pre-order this item. And I have one big piece of advice for all of you who want to get this Threezero. Is highly advise you to get it from Threezero or Hasbro, because in the event that you might get a copy that's defective, like maybe something's missing, something's broken, something's wrong with it, you could easily contact Hasbro or Threezero because they make the product. They would easily give you another copy, your money back, or some replacement parts. But if you give it from some small store in your local area, they might say you're stuck with it and they can't give you your money back. So really, there's nothing that could go wrong from getting it from Threezero or Hasbro. It will work out in your favor. But now getting into my thoughts on this figure. Starting off with the accessories, Nemesis Prime does come with quite a few. The first one you'd probably be pretty familiar with if you've ever gotten a Threezero figure before. Nemesis Prime does include an action figure display stand and base. Pretty much every single Threezero figure includes one, except the MDLX, the smallest scale. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same molding and tooling as all of the previous stands we've seen before with the past Threezero figures. The only change is it does have the title of the film the figure came from, so in this situation it does say The Last Night. And also below that or near that, it does say the name of the figure the stand comes with. So in this situation, Nemesis Prime. As for the other accessories, Nemesis Prime does include a ton of interchangeable pairs of hands, which this is probably my least favorite part about the Threezero figures, because I'm always worried about taking the hands off and on. I worry about that ball joint that attaches to the hand snapping off, because it's kind of a repeated motion that you're taking the hand off and on, and it doesn't seem the most strong of a joint. And I really think for the price of this figure being $240, not including tax and shipping, I definitely think for Nemesis Prime they could have done articulated fingers. But of the hands, if you've seen any previous Threezero figures before, you can guess that he does come with some closed fist ones with some hands that are open so he can hold his weapons, like the blaster, sword, and shield. He also does come with some really open, wide expression hands. I think he also does have like a pointer finger hand or something like that, which is cool. Other accessories are his Last Night sword, which is pretty cool. And since they have made a previous Optimus Prime from The Last Night and Age of Extinction, except of course this is the evil one, I'm assuming this sword is the exact same one that came with that figure as well. I'm just going by my memory and this image you see before you. Also included is the murder blade that he tries to kill Bumblebee with. Again, the same inclusion or accessory that came with the past Optimus Prime as well. He also does include two brand new accessories. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not sure of what all was included with the premium scale one because I never owned that. I never really have watched that many reviews of that figure, so I could be remembering it incorrectly. But this figure does include a brand new blaster. Now, you might not be aware of what scene that came from or was used in the film, but pretty much the first scene that Nemesis Prime appears on Earth. They're on that huge spaceship underwater, and he uses that blaster to attack the Autobots and humans, and it kind of folds out of his arm. I'm assuming that feature will not be present on this figure. You just have to kind of put it in his hand, but I'm pretty sure from what I can remember that was not included with either the DLX or the premium scale of the past Optimus Prime figures. He also doesn't include a shield, which I think this could have been included the premium scale one, but I know it wasn't included with the DLX one because I've seen the DLX one in hand. A few of my friends do own that copy or that version of the figure. But that one does have a shield, but this one has the shield with the blaster built into it, so it's a bit bigger and has a bit more of a weapon to it, which is pretty cool. Also included are two faceplates, so of course one with his actual mouth and one with his battle mask. I'm definitely going to use the battle mask for my display. I think that looks so cool. Other accessories are all of the adapter pieces, so you can of course combine and attach all of his accessories in a ton of different ways, because as I said, he comes with a ton. So you can put his sword and his shield on his back. You can put the murder blade on his forearm. That does require a specific adapter piece for his forearm, and lots more. There's a ton of ways you can display the accessories. But that's really all of the accessories. I don't think I missed any, but just quickly getting into my thoughts of just the figure alone, not with the accessories. I think it looks super intimidating and cool. There's actually purple LEDs in his head. You do press a button on his forehead. It does say the batteries are not included. I think they're two AG13 batteries, if I remember correct. So you will have to get those and be prepared ahead of time for that. But yeah, I've always really liked the Age of Extinction, the Last Night Optimus Prime design. I do know it has gotten some flack over the years because people wanted to see some of the alt mode kibble and pieces on the design. That's why so many people liked the 1 through 3 Bay movie design, you know, where you could actually see the wheels and the pieces of the truck. This one is a lot more streamlined and clean, which in my opinion, I actually probably like more than his original Optimus Prime design from the first 3 films. That's just my opinion anyway. But yeah, just such an intimidating, really cool, scary piece that'll definitely stand out in your collection. But that's really all I have to say on Optimus Prime. Let's now move on to the HasLab news. Now moving on to the final thing we need to discuss for this Thundertron podcast summit, that being the HasLab Omega Prime has reached the minimum backing goal of 10,000 backers for the base figure. As of the time I'm recording this audio, it actually has 10,682. There's still 34 days, 8 hours, and 55 minutes left to back this HasLab item. So after that period, you will not be able to pre-order or purchase this item, so do keep that in mind. And now that we have the base figure, all we need to do is reach the 2 tiers. So at 13,000 we will have the Matrix Blade, and at 16,000 we will have the 2 included action figure stands. And that's all I really have to say on the HasLab Omega Prime and the Threezero Nemesis Prime. Leave me a think of these 2 figures in the comment section down below. Will you be purchasing or backing these items? I hope you enjoyed this Thundertron podcast summit, and I will see you next time.